As you get older, your relationship with your children can change in ways you might not expect. But did you know that certain things you say, no matter how innocent they may seem, can completely ruin that bond? If you're not careful, these words could lead to disaster. Want to know what they are and how to avoid them? Stick with me, and I'll reveal the 5 phrases you should never say to your children. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to dive into an important topic that affects many parents. As they age, the things you should never say to your children. While it's natural to want the best for your kids and express your feelings, some phrases can unintentionally damage your relationship with them. In this video, I'll share 5 key sentences that, if said too often, can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and in some cases, lasting emotional consequences. So let's talk about how to keep those bonds strong and healthy by avoiding these common mistakes. Let's get into it. No. 1. I've done everything for you, and this is how you repay me. This sentence is one of the most toxic things you can say to your children, especially as they grow older. The phrase comes from a place of frustration, and although you may feel unappreciated, it will have a lasting, negative impact on your relationship with your children. When you say this, it conveys a sense of guilt, tripping, and entitlement that will make your children feel like they owe you something they may not even be aware of. As you age, it's natural to want acknowledgement for the sacrifices and efforts you've made for your children. However, using this type of language will only push them away. Children, especially adult children, should not be made to feel indebted or responsible for repaying their parents. It can lead to resentment, and they may feel as though their love for you is being held hostage by your expectations. Instead, focus on positive reinforcement. Appreciate the small acts of kindness and respect that come from both sides. This approach fosters healthier, more genuine relationships where both parties feel valued, not burdened. Nom du. You'll understand when you're older. While this phrase is often used by well-meaning parents, it can feel dismissive and patronizing to your children. When you say you'll understand when you're older, it shuts down any opportunity for a productive conversation. It implies that their perspective isn't valid, simply because they aren't at the same stage of life as you are. This is particularly harmful if you say it when they express confusion, frustration, or even curiosity about the choices you're making in your life. By saying this, you're invalidating their feelings and dismissing their need for understanding. It also implies a lack of willingness to explain things or to relate to their current experience. Instead, try to explain things in a way that's respectful of their viewpoint. Don't assume they can't grasp what you're saying. Just because they haven't had the same life experience doesn't mean they can't understand or process your reasoning. Show them that you're open to discussing things and help them make sense of your perspective. This builds trust and allows for more open communication. No. 3. I'm not going to be around forever, so you better. Using this sentence to guilt trip your children into taking care of you or making certain decisions is not only emotionally manipulative, but also places unnecessary pressure on them. This phrase often comes from a place of fear or loneliness as you age, but it's crucial to avoid using it in a way that makes your children feel like they're responsible for your well-being or happiness. Statements like this can make your children feel overwhelmed and resentful. It's natural for older parents to want to feel cared for as they age, but making your children feel like they have no choice but to fulfill your needs can create emotional burdens that are hard to shake. It's also unfair to place such pressure on them without considering their own lives, needs, and struggles. A healthier approach is to express your feelings openly, but without guilt. Be honest about your desires and needs, but respect their autonomy. Encourage them to be involved in your life, but don't manipulate them with the idea of impending loss. This way, you create an environment where both parties feel comfortable Discussing support and care without any underlying resentment. No. 4. Why can't you be more like someone else? Comparing your children to others is one of the most harmful things you can do. Whether it's comparing them to a sibling, a friend, or someone in your social circle, it will make your child feel inadequate and unappreciated for who they are. When you say things like, "Why can't you be more like your cousin?" Or "Look at how well your friend turned out. Why can't you be like that?" You're unintentionally tearing down their self-esteem and causing them to feel inferior. Every child is unique, and comparing them to others undermines their individuality. It can create a toxic environment where they feel like they can never measure up to your expectations, and it damages their confidence. These comparisons often lead to feelings of resentment toward both the person being compared and the parent who made the comparison. Instead of comparing your children to others, celebrate their unique qualities, acknowledge their individual strengths, and encourage them to pursue their own paths. This will not only build their self-esteem, but also foster a relationship where they feel valued for who they truly are. No. 5. I'm your parent, so you have to do what I say. This authoritarian approach may have worked in previous generations, but it's outdated and ineffective when it comes to modern parenting, especially as you get older. Demanding blind obedience from your children with the statement, "I'm your parent, so you have to do what I say," shuts down meaningful dialogue and makes them feel like their opinions don't matter. This is particularly problematic with adult children, who are now adults in their own right and deserve to have their autonomy respected. While it's true that parents should guide their children, that guidance should come from a place of respect and mutual understanding, not command and control. When you impose your will on them, you risk alienating them and creating an environment where they feel like they're not allowed to make their own decisions. Over time, this leads to resentment and distance in the relationship. Instead of demanding obedience, approach things as a conversation. Explain your reasons, listen to their point of view, and work toward a compromise. This helps maintain a respectful dynamic where both parties feel heard and understood. As you get older, it's important to remember that the way you communicate with your children can make all the difference in maintaining a loving, supportive relationship. The 5 phrases we talked about today, while often said out of frustration or habit, can create unnecessary tension and even emotional distance between you and your kids. By being mindful of what you say and approaching conversations with empathy, respect, and understanding, you can avoid these potential pitfalls and foster a stronger, healthier connection with your children for years to come. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped shed some light on the things to avoid saying to your children as you age. If you found this video valuable, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. For more insights on family dynamics and relationships, also feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, or tell me about any other topics you'd like me to cover. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.